Hi guys, and welcome to a new stream. Today we're gonna do episode 3 of Having Fun with Python on Codewars. As you can see, we've added some music on the background, so it's not too boring. I'm not really sure how the sounds is on the background, the music on the background and my voice in the foreground. We'll try to check it out before we start jumping into code. So give me a quick second, please. I want to check quickly how this sounds doing right now. Can't find my own stream. YouTube must really love me. This is unbelievable. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. I might need to increase my voice. Okay, let's put the music back on. How about now? Okay. Let's see. How about now? Okay. Let's see. How about now? Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I hope we're good. Looking at the OBS and the level of the microphone is way above the level of the music on the background, so it should be good. If not, just let me know. If anyone's on the chat, let me know and we'll adjust the levels of the volumes. Right, so let's jump into the fun part, because I know that's why you're here. So we're gonna change to this scene. I still don't know if I should keep the web or not. It doesn't cover too much of the screen, so you're not missing anything behind that webcam. But yeah, if you say I should remove it, I will remove it. So leave a comment on the chat or on the comment section and we'll make the adjustments for the next stream. Alright, so let's jump into the stream and the subject for today. So we're gonna continue our our series on having fun with Python on Codecademy. Oh, sorry, Codewars. Codecademy is another website. Just FYI guys, I'm not being sponsored by Codewars by any means. This is something that I do for fun and to practice my Python code. So yeah, let me know if you like it. We'll make it longer. Right now we're on episode 3 and I'm planning to have at least 2 episodes per week just by doing katas on Codewars. Basically we'll do this until we finish all the katas. There are 8Q, then we'll move on to 7Q, 6Q and so on and so forth. Right now my current level You can't see it because of the webcam. Let me see if I can move it just a little bit. I'm at 5Q. Okay, and I'm trying to progress up to 1Q. Alrighty, so enough chit chat. Let's get on with it. Let's see this one. Basic function fixer. This should be easy enough. This shouldn't take long. So here's the requirement. I've created this function to add 5 to any number that was passed into it and return the new value. It does not throw any errors, but it returns the wrong number. Can you help me fix the function? Yeah, so basically this function, what it does, it just returns the provided number as a parameter. What it's supposed to happen is return total. Or there's a shorter way to do it. So let's go with this. We'll test. It's all good. It's passing all the tests and the random test. But what I would do, because this is a simple function, it doesn't do much, I would actually remove this line and then do return num plus 5, and it's the same thing, and it's cleaner, it's shorter, and it does the same thing. So this one is very simple. We're gonna submit it, and we can see, yeah, some of the guys went with the normal one, other guys went with the same one. Equal sign is an assignment operator. this is not the same as equal equal. This is an equality test operator, so it tests the equality. This one assigns a particular value. So what I can do here, let's say, to solve this problem in this particular situation, we can say string b, or let's say we type it the full name, string b equals str, and in parentheses b. Now what str does, this transforms a given value into string, so it typecasts. In my situation, b, it's a boolean value, it's either true or false, so I want to transform it from a boolean value into a string value. You can do typecasting from one particular value to another, but there are some limitations. So for example, I'm going to give you a quick example and then we'll move on to the next kata. Let's say my variable is no, actually my variable is string 10, and when you set a variable as a string, you need to enclose that particular string into single quotes or double quotes. And now if I want to say number equals int of string, these two lines are possible because the string itself, it's like it contains numerical characters. But if I do string 2 equals 100b and then enclose that into quotes, and then try to do number 2 equals integer of string 2, this will fail. And this will fail because not all the characters in the string are numerical type. One is a string type and it will fail. And I can show you this in a console. So we'll go with Python and do this string equals 10, number equals integer of string, and I say print number, and to see that the actual type of number is a number, we can do print type number, and says it's an integer. Alright, now let's try the other example. String equals 100b, number equals int of string. This would fail. Invalid literal for integer within base 10 because of the b, right? So coming back to my point, there are situations when you can typecast from one data type to another. For example, from float to integer, you can always convert that back and forth. But from string to integer or floats, you have some limitations. Your string has to be composed only of numerical characters. Otherwise, it won't be able to do the transformation. And now coming back to our problem, since we solved it, we submit the solution. Okay, so some of the guys went with true if b, else false, like returning the actual string based on a logical test. It's not really necessary. I mean, yeah, it's when you read this code, it's a bit longer, but it kind of says, I mean, I think it says what it needs to say a bit more clear. Give me a moment, guys. I'll be Sorry guys, I'm back. So let's proceed. Closing this one, refresh, reload. Let's go to the next one. NBA full 48 minutes average. Let's see what this problem is about. Alright, so an NBA game runs 45 minutes for 12 minutes quarters. Alright, so basically you have around 12 minutes and you have 4 of those, 48 minutes. Players do not typically play the full games, subbing in and out as necessary. Your job is to extrapolate a player's points per game if they play the full 48 minutes. Write a function that takes two arguments, ppg, points per game, and mpg, minutes per game, and returns a straight extrapolation ppg per 48 minutes rounded to the nearest tenth. Return 0 if 0. Not really sure I understand the problem, so let's try to see.
Is it so strange to not be the same? Never change, no please never change. Fill my soul, your words set me free. Take me wherever I wanna be my harmony.
Okay, this is not very clear to me what it needs to do. So let's take another one and we'll come back to this one. When provided with the letter, return its position in the alphabet. Input A, output position of alphabet 1. This kata is meant for beginner, rank it up to bit, bring it out of beta. Okay. So basically what we need to do is define the alphabet. And we can do this with a list, and we have actually doesn't really need to be a list, can be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. And we can return actually this is not okay. this should work. Right, I'll explain in a minute why. Oh, okay, he's expecting, okay, the full string. I can do that, no problem. Alright, let's see if now... Yep, now he's liking it. Good. So now let me explain what I've done. Basically, what I know is I'm gonna receive a letter from A to Z. Doesn't say it has to be uppercase, lowercase, and since it's a beginner kata, this should be fairly straightforward. All the letters will be lower. If not, we can lower. So how we do that? We can do that lower, that index, and actually we can try to see if they have any corner cases where somebody would try to do no, so it's fine. They made it really easy. Now let me explain what I've done. I've initiated a string that has all the letters of the alphabet. Now in Python, strings are iterables. What it means that it's something like this. I can take this string and turn it into an array or a list, or I can iterate through it in place. I can change the form of the string, but I can iterate through it. So basically, if I wanted to know the position of any of the letters in the string, I can access that by using the index function and then adding 1. And the reason we're adding 1 is because it starts from 0. So basically, let's see if I can show you. A would be 0, B would be 1, C would be 2, and so on and so forth, where Z would be 25, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So this is how in any programming language, an iterable object starts will number its element starting with 0, not with 1 as us humans do. When you want to return a position, you will need to increment that by 1. So that's the logic behind it. And now let's try to make this code a little simpler. Instead of this, we're passing that. We don't need that anymore. Actually, not really sure if it's possible. I'll have to test. So let's see, ABCD something index of A. It could be because I'm in formatted string. Right, so I'm trying to return this from an F string, and I think that's not possible. Really? Yeah, it's late. I'm sorry, guys. Hands are all over the place right now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this solution, and I'm gonna check once I submit my solution to see if others have managed to make it in one row. I'm pretty sure they did. But yeah, so let's test again. There's no attempt, apparently, so we'll just submit. Okay, this is interesting. Right. Okay, so this guy is importing stuff. Looking at our code, we have 3 lines of code. Looking at this guy's code, he has 4. I would say our solution is a bit more compact than his, but these are even better. So basically what these guys are doing, it's very interesting. Ord will return an integer that represents the ASCII code for a particular character. So let me show you that, guys. Let's say I want to know what's the ASCII code of the letter A. As you can see, 65. Let's say I want to know the ASCII code for the lowercase a, and that's 96. Now, what these guys are doing, because all the letters that are lowercase will start at 96 and 97, sorry, and will end 97 plus 26, they are just subtracting 96 out of that. So let's do this. Actually, let's do another example. For I in range 96, 100 and 32. Print. Let's see what I want to do. So basically I'm going to generate all the characters. Basically I'm doing the reverse operation. With ORD you can see the ASCII code of a character. With CHR you can see the actual letter. So what I'm trying to generate is generate all the letters from A to Z lowercase. Okay, I went a bit too far, like 5 characters too far, but as you can see, and actually I should have omitted 96, so let's do this properly. 97 to 127. Let's do 28, like that. Print CHR. Basically now it takes an integer, and I'm saying this integer represents the ASCII code of a particular character. Now what I want you to do is give me the actual character of that particular code. I still went a bit too far. What the... Either way, I hope you guys can see what I meant by this. Because what they've done, they take the character that's coming into the function, this character, and they transform that character into the ASCII code of it, like I showed you here. Ord of A gives them 96, and then what they do, they actually just subtract 90, so that's 97, and they subtract 96 out of it, and they will get the position of that character in the alphabet. It's quite ingenious. I should remember that function. Alright, so we're done our function. Let's move to the next one. Opposite numbers. Squash the bugs. Okay, let's see what's this squash the bugs is. Simple challenge: eliminate all bugs from the supplied code so that the code runs and outputs the expected value. Output should be the length of the longest word as a number. There will be only one longest word. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, this is good. I like this challenge because now we can talk a little bit more. So, more theory here, but it's good. Basically, we're receiving a string. Then we're splitting that string based on spaces. So if our string would be like that, we would end up with an array or a list with characters I am learning Python. Yep. So this is what we would end up having after this is executed. Basically in SPL we would have that. Okay, longest equals 0, I equals 0. Alright, so first problem, if should be indented. Okay, yeah. Let's see. So we're creating the array, we're setting a variable longest. We set it to 0. Then I equals 0. Okay, so while I is larger than the length or the number of the characters that we have in our string, I'm not sure. This is not how you measure length. You measure length by saying len of SPL. This will give you the length. There's no properties of a string that's called length to my knowledge. Let me check that. So let's say name equals yep, there's no length. To get the length you say len like that. That's what's giving the name. Alright, so that's one of the issues. another error here. It's len of, and then sorry, like that. That's how you get a particular element in the list. So it's saying if length of that it's larger than longest, this should be also indented below. Python, it's really picky about how you indent code, because in other languages you have curly braces to define a block of code. In Python you don't have that, but Python looks for indentation to delimit where the block of code begins and where it ends. So it's very picky. Alright, and then here it's again wrong, because that's like a JavaScript equivalent on getting the length of an object, and it's like that. Right, so again we'll go to the code, see what it does. We'll remove the comments. That was just an example for you guys. So we take the string, we're splitting it into words, then and saving that into SPL. Then we define a longest and we set it equal to 0, and then I and set it equal to 0. Also I is never increased, so this while would run forever. So when we do it with while, and if we don't have breaking condition, the loop will run forever. Whiles are particularly dangerous if you don't know how to work with them, and can make your program run continuously when it shouldn't. Right, so very careful when you use while loops. Okay. And usually you run while when you don't know through how many iterations you need to go. If you know exactly through how many iterations you should go, then you should use a for. And with this type of problem, you know exactly how many iterations you have, because len of SPL should give you a number, an exact number of how many elements are in the array. But nevertheless, we can go with while to see how it goes. So basically what we're saying, if so right now I is 0. We're saying if 0 it's larger than, so false, then it goes inside the while loop and executes the code. Otherwise, if it's true, actually this will evaluate to false and will never go into the while. Now it evaluates to true. So let me think about it. Well, no, actually it was good. If I do this less than, it's always gonna be less than. So we need to make I larger than. Basically and this is why I put this condition here. With each iteration, this I will increment. So on the first iteration, I will be 0. We'll execute the code, we'll come here and we'll increment I. Then I becomes 1, and so on and so forth, until it reaches a number that it's larger than the actual number of elements in the array. Then in here we go and check if length of the current word in the array, so if it has 10 words, here we'll begin with the first one. If that it's larger than the longest, then the longest becomes the number of characters in that particular word. And there's no else condition, so it moves further. Then it increments the I, and this should work properly. And it says 0 equals 7. And I wonder why. The quick brown fox jumped around the massive dog. Not here, just for our pleasure, I'm gonna print a spill of I, just to see if it's and its length. Like that, so we should see it in the code. Well, we should, we're not seeing it for some reason, I'm not really sure why. Let's see if I can print here something. Nope, no output whatsoever. So if the current word has more characters than their current value of longest, so basically on the first iteration, like here, the has 3 characters, so if 3 is it's larger than 0, longest will become 0 becomes 3. Now here we should have 3, not 0. And obviously we do that for the entire sentence. We go through the sentence and do that. Odd. My god. Here's the problem. str, it's a function. And we're trying to split something that we don't have access to. That should be string. Alright, looks like I'm blind. I'm legally blind. Right, so okay, let's do this test again. Can I do print here? I really don't like it when I can't print. Right, looks I can print, and what it looks like, it's not going into the while. So this was okay. String. Alright, so I know I'm transforming my I'm transforming my string into an array. I do have these two variables defined here, and now let's see the test. I was right. I was goddamn right, guys. I'm sorry I wasted so much time on this. This was fairly simple. My intuition was good. So while I is less than, I is going to be less than all the time until we reach the end of the sentence. Because it starts with 0, then it increments, then 1, it's still less than the number of words or elements, and so on and so forth. Right, so this was the solution. Okay. Now, we should try to optimize this code. And one solution that I can think of, so basically, we can return, we can return max. So max is gonna give us the largest element. Actually, let's see if we can do len on max of so I guess we can do string dot split. Basically here we're generating this array like here. Max will return us the largest value, and then we return the length of that value. So let's comment this one out. Let's see if white? What? White. The quick white fox jumped around a massive dog. I am wondering why. Alright, let's take it step by step. We'll leave this implementation here. And let's think logically. What we want to do is split the string. So let's say actually return the max value. Let me do print max of, no, actually I wanna know what it returns if I take a string that split All right, yeah. I wonder why. Okay, let's do two print statements. Oh, I'm the biggest dumbass on the world. There is. Let me explain. This will work. So max works on an iterable made of numbers mostly and will return the largest value. Here it's totally random. So what we need to do is turn the numbers, or actually turn the letters into their length. That's what we're missing. All right, so let's go back here and see how we can do that. So what I want to do is print. Actually, I want to, actually print, because I want to print it between parentheses. A for A in, actually for A in string dash split. Alright, let's see how it goes. Alright, so I'm getting this. Now if I add max to this value, actually I can close it forever, I'm getting exact thing that it's requested in this problem. And instead of print, if I do return and remove the pass, and voila, simple, right? Took us half an hour. Well, took me half an hour, but yeah, so this is the short form, this is the long form. As we usually do, we write a comment, say long form function fixed short form function improved, and in that stuff here, yeah, let's leave it like that. Once again, attempt, submit, and we should see this kind of result Yep. Yep. Some of the guys are using map. I'm not really sure what map does, never used it. But I'm assuming I can do help map. I'm really sorry, guys. Makes an iterator that computes the function using arguments from each of the iterable stops when the shortest step is exhausted. Oh, okay. Nice. Good to know. I already forgot what it does. Okay, and I think we have time for one more. A simple one though. So this one is done. Let's reload. How about opposite numbers? Let's see what it does. Very simple. Give a number, find its opposite. Quite simple. Let me see. Now, this is very simple to resolve. This is more of a mathematical problem. Basically, the opposite of a number is the number multiplied by -1. In case of a negative number, let's say -2, if you multiply it with -1, result will be 2, which is the opposite of -2. I was trying to do something here very silly, so forget that. Scratch the last 30 seconds. Okay, and here, oh, this indentation is awful. Here what we can do, let's do side equals number multiplied by -1, and then return opposite, which should be learn to type. We should be good. Right, so this is the long way where you define a variable and you make the mathematical transformation and then you return the result. But again, as you know, I like to write efficient function and as less code as possible. And we'll do this. We'll return directly the number multiplied by -1. And if we attempt, see, we can do this with every number. So this is fairly simple. We submit the code. And I'm curious what others found the solution. Minus number, yeah, that's doable too. These guys are having way too much free time on their hand. They did this. This whole expression will evaluate to -1. Some of these solutions are very clever. Some of the solutions are mock solution, but yeah, it's fun to watch how other people's mind work. So yeah, this was it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know in the comments below if you liked it, and yeah, we'll do some more in the near future. Like I said, I'm planning on having 2 episodes each week, and I hope you guys had some really good fun, and excuse the brain farts along this episode. It looks like this hour is not really doing me any favors when I'm trying to do even very simple programming problems. But hey, in the future I'll be more careful. Let me know in the comments also if you like the background music and if you feel it's we should keep doing that, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in and have a great week ahead of you. Cheers. Bye bye.